25 years old. I come from Bolivia. I moved to Germany to study when I was 18. And I studied international business, training to get in the corporate career. Didn't like it at all. Went to the startup world and fell in love with it. Started developing my career in the startup world with startup accelerators, then through fintech, and finally now I'm in Web3. We're working on Troop. Troop is a collaborative investment platform. We allow people to gather in groups and collaborate on the allocation of their portfolios. So that means that they can share a common goal and create a portfolio around it and earn rewards for contributing with investment ideas for this portfolio. And what we will have is a platform with different portfolios with different strategies, and that people can invest if they align with that strategy. I'm all into decentralization and the democratization of finance. I really like how this world is shifting towards something that is more from the people, for the people, and instead of having centralized institutions and organizations that control what we can do and what we cannot do. So I'm really glad to be part of this new change in the world order, basically. Since university, I engaged with different startup movements. I went to startup competitions, the startup summer schools. Then I did some internships at some startups, some fintech startups. Then I joined startup accelerators as a business analyst, like supporting them. And at one point, I decided to start my own thing and joined some startup incubators to get the support from like-minded entrepreneurs and some mentors to get my journey into creating my own startup. So I've had a few co-founders throughout, still very good friends with most of them, and most of them I found through common connections. I met these people through a very random connection. Friends of friends. This specific one was a friend of someone I met through Lunch Club, which is a networking platform. And we started actually organizing some events with WebLab. And then my third co-founder I met through WebLab at one of the events at WebLab. WebLab is, I call it like a laboratory for Web3, where people can come and experiment with what Web3 is, what it means to create a Web3 startup, and not only create a startup, but also learn about what Web3 is, what tools it provides, share a community of like-minded individuals who want to build in the Web3 space. Quite a journey, actually. We started back in February, and we had an idea in mind. We wanted to bring long-term investments to the crypto space that was flooded with short look on it, trading and so on. And of course, something going in the direction of index funds was what made sense. We realized there were a lot of projects doing that already, so we slowly got into different insights by talking to people and talking to experts, attending conferences, that led us to iterating on this, building on top of this problem, like seeing, okay, what's a niche or what are some opportunities that we see that we can implement into this initial idea that can bring the idea to the next step and differentiate ourselves. So I would say the journey was really about finding a way to solve people's needs and differentiating at the same time from what was currently out there. I would say getting validation from, like, one of the highlights was because we started to build in public and engage more on social media, like the engagement that we got from people and like the subscription that we got and the support that we got from our partners that led us to where we are now. Yeah, seeing that it's actually something useful, both and that partners saw value in it and also users saw like that they wanted to engage as soon as possible, that is definitely the highlight. Rejection, which is like very normal with startups, when we encountered certain investors or that we didn't align with them, and mainly for reasons that are about disalignment, they rejected us, and that doesn't feel nice because it's your baby that it's getting rejected with your startup. So it makes you think, which is also something good, makes you reassess things, and in the end a lot of fruitful things and iterations come from there, so we should embrace them too. I think this is quite a new world, so sometimes it's hard to engage with the broader world. For now, it's mainly about talking to people who are in the Web3 space that understand it correctly, but we want to engage the broader audience. So I think finding a way to spread the word outside of this Web3 bubble, I think it's very crucial, and it's a big challenge for us. Filling the gaps as a team is always a challenge, trying to find the right partners to fill the gaps in terms of what skills you have and don't have within the team, that you have maybe some advisors or mentors, bringing someone in the team that knows about those. Sometimes it's challenging to find the right people for that. Personally, I have quite a good relationship with failure, to be honest. I know how to assess all situations in which I can see, okay, I'm learning from this, so in that case I don't see it as a failure. So I'm going to talk a little bit about, as a founder, what failure would mean. I think if users are not really interested or are not using your product, that's definitely failure. If people are not seeing value in what you're producing, that's definitely what failure. That's an interesting question. I'm pretty sure there's always a way to find a problem to be solved. The world is full of problems. Even if you change completely the direction of your project, I do think that finding that problem that is meaningful is the plan, and then going 100% on that. I have a lot of passions, so some of the things that I would like to do on a personal level, I will start there, is I really like archaeology, and I think the place I come from, Bolivia, has huge potential, untapped potential in terms of archaeology that can teach us a lot about our history. And I would love to support some initiatives about archaeology in Bolivia. I'm also a huge film fan. I will try to engage with film somehow. But aside from that, from those kind of side passions that I have, I would definitely keep engaging, supporting founders in this space that I care so much about to move forward. And if I'm successful, as you say, then teach them what pitfalls I had in that journey, and what were some opportunities that tapped into to make it a success. It might sound very basic, but keep yourself very healthy all the time, physically and mentally. But any things that help you clear your mind, definitely a must. Engage in healthy behavior, trying to keep a schedule that fits for you, because not everyone is a morning person or a night person. Try to get something that works for you. Be sharp focused on what you want to do, and don't get too distracted, although keep be a little bit open for distractions, because they can give you new edges on what you want to do. Be very open-minded. The first idea that you have is gonna be far from perfect. It's probably not gonna be the idea you're gonna work on. Go with that idea thinking that it will change, and be very open to feedback. Most important thing, talk to people and get feedback on that, and keep iterating on that. Don't let those feedback or criticism affect your journey, because it's not about the idea itself, it's about the journey and how you solve people's problems.